How crazy does a bike have to be called the Widowmaker? The Kawasaki H2 750 was pure adrenaline, a brutal two-stroke engine, heart-stopping speed, and a reputation for being as fast as it was dangerous. This beast from the 70s was not for everyone, but its legacy was etched into the history of motorcycling. What made this machine so feared and adored? Today I tell you its incredible story. In the 1960s, the motorcycle market was dominated by British brands such as Triumph and Norton, known for their style and reliability. Until the Japanese came along. Brands such as Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki not only began to compete, but also revolutionized the industry with faster, lighter, and more technically advanced bikes. In 1969, Honda launched the CB750, considered the first modern superbike. With its four-cylinder engine and a speed that left any competitor in its wake, Honda marked a turning point. Kawasaki knew it had to respond, but rather than simply match Honda, they decided to go further. They wanted to create the fastest, most powerful, and most radical bike of its time. And so the Mach IV project was born. In 1972, Kawasaki released the H2 750 Mach IV onto the market, and it was a hit. They equipped this beast with a 748cc, two-stroke, inline three-cylinder engine capable of generating 74 horsepower. By the standards of the time, this was insane. The H2 not only outperformed the competition, it also redefined what a motorcycle could be. The two-stroke engine gave it brutal power, especially at low and mid-range revs. But here's the catch: the power delivery was neither gradual nor controlled. One moment you were riding smoothly, and the next, the bike felt like it wanted to rip your arms off. The result? A top speed of almost 200 kilometers and acceleration that put sports cars of the time to shame. But not everything was perfect. The H2's chassis wasn't designed to handle that much power, and the rear suspension was, well, let's just say it was minimalist. In the corners, the bike could feel like a bucking bronco, and the brakes, while better than those on previous models, weren't enough to stop this beast safely. So why did they call it the Widowmaker? Well, you have to understand that this bike wasn't for everyone. Kawasaki marketed it as a machine for true speed lovers, but in inexperienced hands, it was a recipe for disaster. Its flexible chassis, combined with explosive power delivery, made losing control awfully easy. If you didn't know how to ride it, you'd likely end up in the hospital, or worse. The nickname wasn't just a marketing gimmick, it was a warning to those who underestimated this bike. This machine had a brief but momentous career that marked a before and after in the world of sports motorcycles. Launched in 1972, it made a huge impact by being recognized as the fastest motorcycle of its time, redefining the standards of power and acceleration. However, its 750cc two-stroke engine not only offered tremendous speed, but also brought with it a dangerous reputation due to its difficult handling, earning it the nickname the Widowmaker. Throughout its short life, Kawasaki worked to improve it. In 1973, better brakes and a more efficient suspension were introduced to try and control its wild character, although it remained a challenge for many riders. In 1974, modifications were made to the chassis and tires to increase its stability and make it more predictable on the road. Finally, in 1975, production of the H2 came to an end, due to the increasing pressure of environmental regulations that limited large displacement two-stroke engines. Despite its short run, the H2 750 left an indelible mark, consolidating itself as an icon of its time and as a motorcycle that pushed the limits of innovation and performance. Today, the original H2 models are true collector's items. Restoring one of these machines is a dream come true for classic motorcycle enthusiasts. The H2 wasn't just a bike, it was an icon that defined an era. In the 70s, owning an H2 wasn't just about transportation, it was a bold statement of rebellion and bravery. It was the machine that separated the daring from the fearful, a beast reserved for those willing to push the limits, both on the road and in life itself. Its distinctive, piercing, ferocious roar characteristic of two-stroke engines echoed through the streets, announcing the arrival of a legend and generating admiration, but also respect. The H2 750 became the queen of underground street races, dominating nights of adrenaline and speed. It was a constant in motorcycle clubs, where it stood as a symbol of status and challenge. Its presence was not limited to the roads, it reached the big screen, appearing as a character in action films that sought to capture the free and daring spirit of the time. For many, the H2 750 was the emblem of pure freedom, of a speed that did not ask for permission, and of an eternal challenge to established norms. It was an object of desire, and at the same time of controversy. The protagonist of stories both glorious and tragic, it represented an era where the motorcycle was not only a means of transport, but a lifestyle, a philosophy, and for some, a way of escaping everyday conformism. In 2015, Kawasaki decided to revive the legendary H2 name with an all-new model. The Ninja H2 and its track-ready sibling, the H2R, took performance to a whole new level. Featuring supercharged engines and cutting-edge technologies, these bikes are capable of over 300 kilometers, but this was already a vehicle only for the rich. The H2R in particular is one of the fastest and most powerful motorcycles ever made, with over 300 horsepower. But despite all the modern technology, the wild spirit of the original H2 lives on in these models. So why is the original H2 still so beloved? Because it wasn't perfect. It was dangerous, unpredictable, and thrilling. It represents an era when motorcycles were raw machines, made for those willing to tame them. Today, both the original and modern Ninja H2 models are symbols of speed and power. The Kawasaki H2 750 isn't just a bike, it's a legend. It changed the world of two-wheelers forever, and its legacy lives on in every fast bike we see today. What do you think? Is the H2 the true Widowmaker? Let me know in the comments. And remember, folks, see you around the next corner, full throttle, and may a good two-stroke roar never be missing from your life.